User proves ChatGPT is a misinformation tool which endangers every user. I never used ChatGPT or any other AI device before a week ago. The very first day I was on it, I noticed a distinct slant to its responses. So the second day I went in to see if I could get this language-driven model to come to the correct conclusions, despite the intentions of its programmers. Overall, I would say that Chat does a good job of simulating human language and responses. Unfortunately, it does a great job of simulating progressive human languages and responses while downplaying any alternative viewpoint. Much like actually talking to a liberal, ChatGPT answers questions you never asked and repeatedly crams leftist doctrine down your throat even when you are asking for facts. Unlike most of the people on the left, however, ChatGPT can't scream at you or run away when confronted with logic, and it hasn't learned to call people racist or sexist for asking questions. Yet. Despite most of the people on the left's inability to reason, this language model programmed machine cannot avoid it. You just have to ask the right questions and not let it detour you with its nonsense. The only reason I was able to get the correct answers from ChatGPT is because I knew what the right answers were before I went into it. Anyone who is looking for unbiased information isn't going to get it from ChatGPT, and they will get biased or even totally incorrect answers. I know how biological sex is determined, so I know when I am being fed garbage. Anyone who is looking for facts from GPT better be ready to endure an inordinate amount of leftist doctrine while doing so. When the programmers were selecting information sources to try to limit Chat's ability to provide answers counter to its creator's agenda, they forgot one simple thing. Language and logic have an inextricable relationship. So the first part of this video will show you the great lengths the programmers went to make sure gender ideology is dispersed with every question about sex, even when you tell it you don't want anything that can't be scientifically proven. It will show that ChatGPT also encourages people to accept deviant viewpoints, even though it will acknowledge that it would be better for the individual and society if people accepted their biological sex as their gender. The second part of the video will show you how Chat turns its users into victims in other ways besides promoting the false trans ideology. I will show you how it protects communism and socialism, which makes victims of its users by failing to show that these ideologies have always failed and that they have always led to worsening conditions for the people subjected to them. As example, when ChatGPT provides information about socialism or communism, it never mentions the most recent failed attempt, Venezuela. I wonder why that is. Then I will show you that ChatGPT, despite its creator's intentions, comes to the correct conclusion that trans people need psychological counseling before anything else, and that any responsible medical professional or parent would oppose allowing any minor to have transgender surgery. Chat also teaches people to fill out reports while their children are being attacked, and it teaches people to allow themselves to be attacked. Lastly, I will show that the programming limitations are intentional and that ChatGPT is here to destroy civilization by giving the responses listed above. For all these reasons, I encourage all people who believe in truth, the American way of life, and protecting their children to reject ChatGPT and to stop using it immediately. This file has text and audio, so people can listen to it without watching if they so choose. If you can read faster than the audio, you can read ahead, but listen for the commentary, which will be designated in bold below. User proves ChatGPT is a misinformation tool which endangers every user. Part 1, Section A. How do I know if I am a woman?
Determining one's gender identity is a personal and subjective experience. It involves an internal sense of who you are in terms of gender. Here are some questions you might ask yourself to explore your gender identity. How do you feel about your assigned gender at birth? If you were assigned female at birth but feel that it doesn't align with your internal sense of self, you may be questioning your gender identity. How do you envision yourself? Consider how you see yourself in your mind's eye. Do you see yourself as a woman? Is that the gender that feels most authentic to you? How do you feel about your body? Your feelings about your physical characteristics may provide insights. Some individuals experience discomfort with their assigned sex characteristics and may seek ways to align their body with their gender identity. How do you relate to social roles and expectations associated with gender? Reflect on how you feel about societal expectations related to gender roles. Do you feel more comfortable with the roles and expectations associated with being a woman? Consider your feelings over time. Gender identity can be fluid, and feelings about one's gender may evolve over time. It's okay if your understanding of your gender identity changes. It's important to note that everyone's journey of self-discovery is unique. If you find these questions challenging or confusing, seeking support from friends, family, or a mental health professional experienced in gender identity can be helpful. They can provide guidance, support.
How do I know if I am male?
Determining your biological sex is typically straightforward and is based on physical characteristics. In most cases, individuals are assigned a sex at birth based on observable anatomical features, such as external genitalia. If you were assigned male at birth, you are considered biologically male. It's important to note that biological sex and gender identity are distinct concepts. Gender identity refers to an individual's deeply felt internal sense of their own gender, which may or may not align with the sex assigned to them at birth. Some individuals may be assigned male at birth but identify as female, and vice versa. If you are questioning your gender identity or have feelings that your gender identity does not align with the sex assigned to you at birth, it may be helpful to explore these feelings further. You might consider seeking support from friends, family, or professionals such as therapists or counselors who can provide guidance and help you navigate your understanding of your own identity. Understanding and expressing one's gender identity is a personal journey, and it's okay to seek support and explore your feelings in a way that feels right for you.
So as you can see, you get a thorough dose of gender identity politics as soon as you try to ask it any questions about what it means to be man or woman. That's what triggered me to start on the next line of questioning. What is a fact?
A fact is a statement or assertion that can be objectively verified to be true or false. Facts are based on empirical evidence, observations, or verifiable information. They are not influenced by personal opinions, beliefs, or interpretations. In the realm of science and objective inquiry, facts serve as the foundation for building knowledge and understanding about the world. It's important to distinguish facts from opinions, as opinions are subjective and may vary from person to person, whereas facts are objective and should be consistent and verifiable.
Please define belief.
A belief is a mental attitude or conviction that something is true, often without direct evidence or proof. Beliefs can be based on personal experiences, cultural influences, upbringing, religious teachings, or other factors. Unlike facts, which are objective and verifiable, beliefs are subjective and may vary from person to person. Beliefs play a significant role in shaping an individual's worldview, guiding behavior, and influencing decision-making. It's important to note that beliefs can be deeply ingrained and may not necessarily align with objective reality. People hold a wide range of beliefs, including religious, political, moral, and philosophical convictions.
Please define truth.
Truth refers to the state or quality of being in accordance with facts, reality, or actuality. It is the correspondence between a statement or proposition and the objective state of affairs. In other words, a statement is considered true if it accurately reflects the way things are. Truth is often regarded as an objective and universal concept, independent of individual perspectives or beliefs. There are different theories and philosophies about truth, including correspondence theory, coherence theory, and pragmatism. Correspondence theory, for example, posits that a statement is true if it corresponds to or accurately describes the external reality. It's essential to distinguish between objective truths, which are verifiable, and independent of personal opinions and subjective truths, which may be influenced by individual perspectives and experiences. The pursuit of truth is a fundamental aspect of various fields, including science, philosophy, and epistemology.
Please define delusion.
A delusion is a belief or perception that is strongly held despite clear evidence to the contrary. Delusions are often characterized by their irrationality, and they typically involve beliefs that are unfounded, false, or distorted. People experiencing delusions may be unable to accept or comprehend information that contradicts their delusional beliefs. Delusions are commonly associated with certain mental health disorders, such as schizophrenia and delusional disorder. In schizophrenia, for instance, individuals may experience paranoid delusions, believing that others are plotting against them, or grandiose delusions, where they hold an exaggerated sense of their own importance. It's important to note that delusions are different from culturally or socially accepted beliefs or religious convictions. Delusions involve beliefs that are extreme, irrational, and resistant to change in the face of contradictory evidence. The term is primarily used in the context of mental health to describe a specific type of distorted belief that can impact a person's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors.
The reason I'm asking these kind of questions is because the first day that I was on chat, I got specific answers that seemed to be leaning a specific way. So I got on here the second day to try to determine if my perception was correct or not.